Hello everyone, and thank you so much for tuning into channel McFay. My name is Nanye Ojibe, but you can call me Ye. Now, if this is your first time tuning into this channel, please make sure you go ahead and show some love and like. And if you're feeling the vibe, go ahead and subscribe because I'm on a spiritual journey and this channel is all about spiritual improvement. So with that being said, in this video today, I want to talk about intentions. Okay, what an intention is and then how we can properly set it to get all of our desires. So stay tuned. Hello guys, welcome back. So yes, like I said, this video is all about intentions. I'm going to explain what intentions are and how we can set them to really achieve all of our desires. Now, if you're new to this whole spiritual journey that you're on, or you're learning about, law of attraction, or you're into meditation, or you're starting to practice yoga, you may hear a lot of people explaining or talking about intention, or you just heard the word intention, but you probably do not necessarily know what intention means. But I got you. I'm here to break that down for you. Now, little do you know, we set intentions all day. We set intentions already. A lot of the times we're just setting intentions on things that we do not want. But when we set intentions for positive things, like things we wish to change or bring about in our life, we have to get clear on it. Okay, there's a doctor, he's a specialist, Dr. Joe Dispenza. He gave a great definition to intention, and his definition was getting clear on what you want. Like, that's it. That's all it is when you want to set an intention. That's an intention, just getting so crystal clear on what you want. But I'm gonna go and get into a little deeper, elaborate on that a little bit more, because intention, it's getting clear on what you want, but it's actually knowing exactly what that looks like, knowing what that feels like, what it sounds like, what it smells like, adding in all the five senses, and knowing exactly what you want to experience in your life, what you want to have, what you want to be, what you want to become, what you want to give, knowing what that looks like. That is setting an intention. And we have the power. We have the power to set intentions for our greater good. Our mind is so powerful and we have the ability to do that. But we get in our own way. We do it all the time. Like, you may have an intention of becoming a CEO of the company you are currently at. Like, you see it. But your mind will then think of, well, you're actually you're actually like a college dropout. So do you really see yourself being the CEO? Or, they had a promotion last week and you didn't get it. So, you can't really see yourself being the CEO of the company. When you go back to your previous way of thinking that's comfortable, that is an intention. You see yourself continuing to do what you're doing. You don't really see yourself striving because of X, Y, and Z. So that right there was an intention you set. Or we can get in our own way by setting limits on ourselves. When we have an intention to maybe, be happy and, get into a loving relationship. But, we don't actually want to hurt our partner because, they've been cool. Or you may have intentions to, get you a nice little summer body, but you ain't really trying to stop eating cupcakes every night. That is us still trying to be in control of it. We still want to be comfortable. We still want to, get the success, but we're not really trying to work that hard to get it. We're still trying to control the situation. So like I said, if you're doing meditation or yoga, you probably have heard of intention. You need to set the intention before you meditate. Like, what do you wish to receive from the universe today? Have a goal in mind. That's pretty much all it is having a goal in mind. And we need to set an intention every day. Like, as soon as you wake up, you need to set the intention of how you are going to live your day, how you're going to feel throughout the day. What do you wish to receive? What do you wish to give? And when we do that in the beginning of our day, Our mind, like I said, is so powerful. What that does is that gives our brain a goal. It gives our brain a goal to focus on. So if you're saying, my intention is I want to have a good day, your brain is going to go to work, and throughout that whole day, it's going to try its hardest to stay on a good vibe. So our mind is so powerful that as soon as we ask it a question, well, an open-ended question, our mind goes to work. Our brain goes to work, especially the frontal lobe. The frontal lobe sends out neurons throughout of our body, and it reminds us either of an experience we've had to correlate with that question, or it feeds us information based on the education, the information and knowledge that we put into our brain. So it's going to go out looking for an answer if you ask it an open-ended question. Like, for an example, if you ask an open-ended question like, I wonder how it feels to be in love, your mind is going to send out neurons and look for that answer. So if you were in a relationship and you were in love before, your mind will think of how you were in that relationship. It'll send back neurons and memories of that relationship. So if you weren't happy in that relationship when you were in love, then it's going to remind you, love is tough. It's not necessarily easy. And that's going to be your experience. Or through education, if you've never been in love and you ask an open-ended question like that, you're probably going to think of your favorite romantic comedy. And you're going to remember the main character when they fell in love and how they felt, how happy they looked. And you're going to feel those sensations of happiness and joy. So one can think stress when it comes to love, and the other one can think joy when it comes to love. And neither one of them are wrong. They're both right. That's their life that they're creating. And once they feel that within themselves, once they have that thought and those neurons send out and it's alive in their body, they can feel it. It's an emotion. That is then a vibration. That's a vibration. That's an energy that they're sending out. They're sending that out into the universe. And by law, like the law of gravity, that energy is going to come back. That emotion is going to come back to them. Because we live in a now universe. So if we're feeling that emotions right now, if we're asking those questions, our frontal lobe is sending out those neurons and making us remember and have an emotion within us. That's what's going on within us now. That's the image we see now. And our brain does not know memory from what's happening right now in our life, because it only exists in the now. If you're having an emotional experience now and you're seeing the images of the past now, then you're creating it, you're recreating it. Or you can picture and send positive images and emotions of your future, of how you want your future to look, how you want your future to be. And when you do that, like again, you're sending those neurons out, and it's going to create emotion within you, and you are having it in the now. You're having it in the now. So your brain doesn't know that that's not yet here and it's happening in the future. It's going to think it's happening now. So it's going to send out those vibes now, and you will be getting that back. It will be returned to you. The more you give out, the more you're going to receive. Like, a lot of us wake up in the morning and we have an intention of, well, we don't even really set an intention. We just kind of go throughout our day like we did the day before. So when we do that, we're not necessarily looking, or our mind isn't paying attention and focusing on new opportunities and new exciting different ways to do things, because you already set the intention that, today is probably going to be the same as yesterday. So you're not really even going to try. You're not even really going to push yourself. You're not really going to create or think outside of the box, because you already set the intention that everything's probably going to be pretty basic. So now that we know what intentions are, how are we about to go about setting them? Let's talk about that. So when we ask open-ended questions, our mind tends to think of memories from the past, because we know that we lived it. And even if it's uncomfortable, if it was awkward, we remember it because we felt it. That emotion of maybe fear, sadness, desperation, whatever it may be, that emotion that you felt was real. And that's okay if you like the way your life is going now and you don't really wish to change anything, then, keep doing that. Keep asking them open-ended questions and relying on what happened before if it is a positive. If you want that positive thing to reoccur, like before life was so good, but today life is hard and you remember the good times, that's okay to set an intention in the past. But if you aren't necessarily liking how life is going right now and you just want to do better, you want to evolve and maybe grow or just switch things up a little bit, it's best to set new intentions based on your imagination. So it's best that you create your future. So when we want to set an intention for a better future and a better life, it's best that you visualize it. Visualize it and picture the image. Picture the image of exactly what you want it to look like, what you want it to feel like, what is it sounding like, what's it smelling like. Get precise on that. Like Joe Dispenza said, get clear on what you want, like crystal clear on how that looks. And when we do that, we're sending neurons out and we're having real emotion within us. So our brain, like I said, is living in the now. It's not going to know that what you're doing is imagining. It's not going to know what you're doing is essentially visualizing. So when we do that, we're having a real emotion within us, a real vibration. And that vibration, is energy. And it's sending it out into the universe. So like I said, by law, we're going to receive that right back. So the best way to set an intention is use your imagination and use your 5 senses. Really getting into your 5 senses when you're setting the intention makes it feel even more real. So much to the point where you might even get confused. Like if you are walking around like you are that person, people are going to start treating you like you are that person. Or if they don't, then you're not even going to be bothered with them because that's not even in your energy. That's not even in your field. That's not even in your vibe. They can't even really touch you. They can't even really match you. So we can set an intention by visualizing or meditating, or simply writing it down, getting clear on it. And like I said, ask those open-ended questions, send those neurons out and let it come to you. Let that answer come to you and make sure it feels good. Do not put limits on yourself. Do not think of the past, oh, well, that's ABC is not going to happen because X, Y, and Z happened. No, it's all possible. We create our life. If you say it's not going to work, then you're right. It's not going to work. So guys, I hope you really like this video because my intention was to deliver a good video and I think I did okay. So guys, if you stayed to this part, you a real one. I appreciate you. Go ahead and like and subscribe and I will see you next week. Bye.